is racism towards Indians so normalized?
PewDiePie. The answer is PewDiePie.
PewDiePie is not responsible for any of the racism you experienced. Back in 2016 and 2017, PewDiePie went to war with this big channel called T-Series, and it was a corporation that was going to pass PewDiePie, and PewDiePie decided to make fun at the channel. But none of these videos had anything racist in them, and a lot of Indian people were supporting PewDiePie and saying, subscribe to PewDiePie, I support PewDiePie, and the blue shirt kid, he went really viral. Shout out to him if he's watching this video right now. Now, you're about the same age as me, and we grew up watching this kind of media on TV that stereotyped Indians as nerdy, and all of them have an accent. You know, there's not a single one that doesn't have an accent, right? Guess what? To make matters worse, Indians, they got no game. They're nerdy. They can't even talk to women unless they're drinking. Now, when I was like really young, I thought this dude was like black from Africa or something. I just didn't know the accent was the thing. But Balji, shout out to him. I used to look up to the character, but he was definitely a racist, stereotypical character. When you were staying up late so you could watch The Simpsons, then you got more racist stereotypes, you know? Then basically Indians become irrelevant in your mind, and then you see T-Series versus PewDiePie, and all those stereotypes came back to the forefront. But it wasn't really PewDiePie's fault for the racist thoughts or anything. It's just that these stereotypes were already enforced in the culture. Now, I want to be clear. When I was 16, I also thought racism was getting worse. But then I looked back at my childhood and I realized that these dudes always been racist. I just didn't really see it. You know, I remember one time a person went up to me and screamed the three-letter word at me, KK, you know, whatever. And I had no idea what that meant until I got older. People making jokes about like watermelon, I didn't understand until I got older. But once you're like 16, you know, and you notice all these things. And then it feels like, wow, the racism is increasing, but it's always been there. Now, you brought up how that white supremacist who did a horrible atrocity brought up subscribe to PewDiePie. But you have to understand that this dude was bringing up a whole bunch of different memes, and internet culture was extremely popular back then. There was actual memes. It's not like the internet culture of today. So it's no surprise he heard us subscribe for PewDiePie, and he was going to do it because he was streaming on Twitch. He was trying to go viral. One of your commenters brought up, like, you know, the blue eyes, white dragon, dark magician line, and that's not racist. That's just from the memes. If you watched him, you would understand this was not even a racist.